For the system administrator and advanced users, the device tree is the heart of the system. It is used to monitor and manage the BACnet network. The device tree is automatically populated the first time the unit is connected to the network, and new devices will be added as they are discovered. BACnet IP devices will be listed in the root of the device tree, while BACnet MSTP devices will be in their own network branch. All devices are constantly monitored, and any abnormal status will be displayed with an icon next to the device. One of the devices has an error icon. Let's check the status. The device appears to be offline. I'll go ahead and disable it until the problem can be resolved, so no time is wasted trying to communicate with it. The device is now shown as disabled. If a device contains any objects, it can be clicked to display the objects in separate folders. Many common objects can be clicked to display a custom editor. And if the object has a priority array, it can be edited by clicking the yellow edit icon. Values can be changed by double-clicking a priority slot, or they can be cleared with the Relinquish button. To view up to 50 objects at once, select them in the tree and use View Selected Items. To add more items, drag them from the tree and drop them anywhere in the list. The quick report can then be saved so it can be viewed at any time. To view a quick report, use the button on the toolbar. Property values may be edited by double-clicking them. Finally, the properties of any object can be viewed and edited on the Properties tab. Virtually all standard BACnet properties can be edited, including arrays, lists, and constructed properties. Many primitive proprietary properties can also be edited. Any devices or objects or the entire device tree may be hidden from individual users. Now let's take a look at the options for working with the device tree. Right-clicking an item in the tree brings up a menu. The first selection is View Edit Alarms. Here you can view the active alarms from a single device, as well as set up the alarms each device generates. Alarms are covered more in depth in another video, so let's move on. There are 3 selections under the Device submenu. The first is View Communications Status. This dialog displays information about the device, its current status, and has several options used to improve compatibility with older devices or with noisy networks. The first option will limit how many segment packets are sent between acknowledgements. The second option disables segmentation completely, and the third option forces it to read all properties from this device one at a time. On the right side, all communication with the device may be disabled. The ping is used to verify the device is still online and responding. On networks with a very large number of devices, it will lower network traffic to disable this. The yellow status is an icon in the tree that lets you know there is an issue with the device, such as intermittent errors. The refresh button may be clicked to refresh the information and message log. And the reset status is used to clear any yellow or red status icons once the problem has been resolved. The next selection under Devices is Search for New Devices. This will broadcast a Who Is, so it can find any new devices. Use this after adding new devices to the network, or if device object identifiers have been changed by some other software. The final selection under Devices is Add Device Manually. This allows adding a device to the tree by specifying its IP address and device ID. This can be useful to add a device that is not on the local network or not responding to a who is. The next submenu is Objects, and the first selection is Scan Device for Objects. This will read the object list from the device and then read the object name of all objects found. The device tree is then updated with the new list. Use this when objects are created or deleted with other software. The next selection is Create Object, and will only be enabled if the device supports it. Selecting this while clicking on an object folder will default to creating that type of object. Or select another object from the list. The list will only contain the objects this device supports. Give the object a name, and the object will be created. The next selection is Delete Object. This will just delete the object from the device and update the tree. The next submenu is Tree Nodes. The first selection, Edit Permissions, lets you set which user groups can see this item in the tree. This will hide the tree node and any child nodes under it, but keep in mind that this only hides it in the tree. If a property is used on a graphic display that a user group has access to, they will still be able to access it there. The next selection is Delete Selected Nodes. This will delete the item from the tree. This should be used when a device is removed from the network. The next two selections are both used with proprietary objects or properties. The first is Rename Proprietary Folder. This allows changing the default name of a proprietary object folder to the proper name for the object. Note that this change will prompt you to reload the tree. If we look at the properties of one of these proprietary objects, it has only found the 4 default object properties. We can use the last selection, Edit Property List, to add any proprietary properties we need to access. Just click the Add button. Specify the property ID and the name of the property. And now this proprietary property is in the property list. We will need to rescan the object one time. And now we have access to the proprietary property. This can also be used to add proprietary properties to standard objects. The next selection is View Selected Items. This was already covered earlier in the overview. Sometimes when creating objects, or when new devices or objects are renamed, the tree can get out of order. If this happens, just use Sort Tree. This will sort the tree alphabetically and then reload it. The last selection is Reload Tree. This will refresh the tree list from the server and is mainly used when adding new devices or after booting the unit for the first time. Normally, when some objects are clicked in the tree, it will view the object. To select an object without viewing it, hold the Alt key while clicking it. Now let's take a look at the Property tab's menu. The first selection will refresh the values of the selected properties, while the second selection will refresh all of the properties. The third option will rescan the object, looking for any proprietary properties added to the property list. The fourth selection will open this property list as a tab in the main viewing area. This allows opening a second Properties tab for another object to compare them with each other. And finally, since BACnet has too many properties to document them all, the last selection will look up the selected property using Google, which will usually give a full description.